with monsters that are...
Hey guys, welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be showing you my Lair of Darkness TRAPTRIX deck. I made this deck because I thought that TRAPTRIX had a pretty tough time going second, because it's a very good deck at dealing with monsters that are going to be summoned and preventing them from being summoned. But once the monsters actually hit the field, they are pretty hard to get rid of with a pure TRAPTRIX build. And that's where the Lair of Darkness part comes into play. Because the Lair of Darkness part will be able to tribute your opponent's monsters for your benefit. So let's get right into the deck profile now. First off, I'm playing triple TRAPTRIX Mermelio. Yeah, she's the best one in my opinion. You should always play 3 of her in any TRAPTRIX build. Then I'm playing only 2 Dionea, because she's only really good as a follow-up and not really as a starter. And the last TRAPTRIX monster I'm playing is only 1 Mantis. So I'm playing only 6 TRAPTRIX monsters in total, and I think that's more than enough, actually. So now for the Lair of Darkness part, I'm playing triple Lilith, Lady of Lament. Yeah, she's the best one of the Lair of Darkness parts. You can tribute your opponent's monsters for quick effects to search traps, so yeah, that's really strong. And then 3 of Arima, the Wicked Warden. He searches your Lair of Darkness, he tributes your opponent's monsters to draw cards, or to search the Big Daddy, Darkest Diabolos. So these were all of the monsters. Now let's move into the spells. I'm not playing that many spells, as I'm playing a TRAPTRIX deck, so you want to have some traps. But the most important spell, of course, is going to be Lair of Darkness. This enables the entire Dark engine of the deck, because it allows you to tribute your opponent's monsters once per turn instead of your own for effects. I'm playing, of course, 1 Terraforming to search the Lair of Darkness, because it's so vital to the deck. And the last spell that I'm playing is triple Monster Gate. So this is really nice going second. If you have Lair of Darkness, you just tribute your opponent's monster and you summon one of your monsters from your deck. You will be milling a lot of traps probably while doing that. So that's why I'm playing some traps that are pretty nice to have in the graveyard as well. So now let's move on to the biggest part of the deck, the traps. First off, I'm playing the 3 trap holes. 1 Floodgate trap hole, 1 TRAPTRIX trap hole Nightmare, and 1 Bottomless trap hole. If you have a larger budget, you can use Gravedigger's trap hole as well, but that's a pretty expensive card at this time. Now, some of the traps that are nice when milled with Monster Gate are the Paleozoics. So I'm playing double Canadia, double Olonoides, and double Dynamiscus. I think 6 is fine. Dynamiscus is not that great in this deck, because you don't really want to discard cards, but still it's a nice out for anything your opponent might have. Then I'm playing one of the traps that ties the 2 parts of the deck together, and that is Ballista Squad. So even if you just have Lair of Darkness on the field and you have a TRAPTRIX Serra, this card can tribute your opponent's monsters and you get Serra's effect as well. So that's really nice. Then I'm playing some more graveyard traps, and these are Lost Wind. So if they are in the graveyard and your opponent special summons from the extra deck, you can set this card back to your field. So you can even plus off a Monster Gate sometimes. And overall, I think it's just a nice and strong card. Then some generic removal, double Compulsory Evacuation Device. I think 2 is enough, because you can search it with Lilith and with the next card, which is TRAPTRIX. TRAPTRIX is just another copy of any of your normal spells, and you play a lot of normal spells in the deck. So that's nice. And even if you only have 2 copies of a certain trap in your deck, you can use Lilith's effect to reveal TRAPTRIX and 2 of the copies of the trap, so that you will always actually have the trap that you want. And the last card that I'm playing in the main deck is 1 Metaverse, just another way to get to your fields, and it's a trap, so yeah, that's a nice thing. Now for the extra deck, there are actually a lot of options that you can have in this deck, depending on your budget, but I'm going to try and keep it pretty simple. First off, which is pretty important, is triple Serra. You can only play 2 if you want, but yeah, I think 2 at least is mandatory, the 3rd one is optional. Then 1 Totally Awesome. This again is a pretty expensive card at this moment, and it's maybe even the most expensive card of the deck, but it will be reprinted soon in Maximum Gold, so if you can pick it up from there it will be much cheaper. But it's really nice in combination with all the Paleozoics that you run, because you get some free negates out of it sometimes. Then another card that I really like is Empty Freedoer. You can't really abuse it that much in this deck because you don't play the Phantom Knight's trap. But still, it's against some decks, it's really nice. For example, against Sky Striker, stealing all your spells to draw cards, stuff like that. One TRAPTRIX Alomeris. Yeah, sometimes it comes up that you can summon your opponent's monsters, or that you can just summon one from the graveyard again. One TRAPTRIX Rafflesia. Yeah, this one doesn't come up that often, but I've been in some situations before where I really wanted it, so yeah, that's why I play it. One Tornado Dragon to have some more spell and trap destruction. You don't really need it that often because you already have Olonoides and Myrmelio that can destroy traps on your opponent's side of the field, but still. One Magushka, yeah, just to stall if you need it. One Abyss Dweller, it's good against some decks, so you should play it. Then to some more links. One Link Spider, because the tokens that you summon at the end of the turn with Lair of Darkness are just normal monsters, and if you link them off into a Link Spider, then yeah, you have an effect monster, and that's needed for some of the other links. One Cerberus, yeah, you can also play a Phoenix if you want. One IP Masquerena to go into the Nightmare Unicorn on your opponent's side of on your opponent's turn sometimes. And the last link that I'm playing is just a Topologic Bomber Dragon, very cheap, easy to make with all the tokens and stuff. You have to link the tokens into another link monster before you go into Topologic Bomber Dragon though, because you need effect monsters to make him. So yeah, that was it for the main deck and the extra deck. I don't really do side decks that often, so I'm not going to include them here. So yeah, that was the deck profile. As you can see, it's a pretty budget build. You could, of course, upgrade it if you have a larger budget, include things like Infinite Impermanence, Ice Dragon's Prison, for example, and better link monsters. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile, and hope to see you next time. Bye.